as we scale battery production to very high levels, we actually have to look further down the supply chain, and we might get into the mining business. I don't know, maybe yeah, a little bit at least.
It's normal that the attendees in the 2019 shareholders meeting laughed when they heard Elon Musk say that Tesla was considering mining. When has a car company done such a thing? The answer to this question lies in the error of it. Tesla is not a car company. It is a company of cars, superchargers, home batteries, batteries for supply companies, sales of batteries, seats, repair shops, vehicle chips, insurance, new batteries, solar panels, solar tiles, automation machines, RNA microfactories, powertrains, supercomputers, neural networks, trainers, humanoid robots, and software. So much software. Starting with the autopilot software, following with the infotainment software, continuing with the autopilot to manage the megapads, and ending with its own internal company management software. But of all the materials needed to make batteries, in which one was Elon thinking when he said that?
We actually got rights to a lithium clay deposit in Nevada.
Over 10,000 acres.
Over 10,000 acres.
Elon and Drew explained on Battery Days that Tesla's new batteries will actually be 3 types of different batteries: iron, nickel and manganese, and high concentration of nickel. So the elements used to make their batteries cathodes can vary depending on the final product. But there is one element that is always present: lithium. Present in the anode, when it loses an electron, it migrates to the cathode. So it is this element that is always in all batteries of your mobiles, laptops, cameras, and now also of your electric vehicle. Therefore, the question that arises now is, will there be enough lithium in the next few years to transform all transport and energy to electricity? To answer this question, who better to do it than him? Vivas Kumar worked for 2 years and 9 months at Tesla as the manager of the supply chain of the Californian company. He's now a director at Benchmark Mineral Intelligence, a company specializing in the supply chain of lithium-ion batteries. Last year, Galileo Russell from Hyperchange did an extraordinary interview with Vivas Kumar that I recommend you and I attach you in the description. Of this entire 34-slide presentation, there was one single graphic that concerned him above the rest.
This chart is very scary. Every automaker should look at this chart and be scared. Every battery company should look at this chart and be scared. Let's just be very upfront. Given where we are today in technology trends for the manufacturing of lithium chemicals, given where we are in terms of how much consumers are demanding electric vehicles and how much utilities are demanding grid-scale batteries, there is no way the supply will be able to meet the demand starting mid-decade.
And this challenge that Vivas talks about is so huge that many experts and media are wondering if the industry will really be able to extract enough lithium for the colossal demand that is coming. And to this day, the answer to this question from almost all experts is no. Because there's no physical way to ensure that the almost 100 million vehicles that are sold per year have enough batteries to be electric. Or rather should we say, there was no way. Since on July 8, 2021, the World Intellectual Property Organization published a Tesla patent called Selective Extraction of Lithium from Clay Minerals that disrupts the obtaining of lithium. In this video, we're going to see in detail Tesla's lithium extraction patent, the disruption of mining. Hi, this is Alejandro and welcome to the best moment in history. And now you could help me right now to make this video have more views than the lithium that Tesla is going to extract if you liked it right now. Thank you very much.
We actually discovered again, looking at a sort of first principles physics standpoint, instead of just the way it's always been done, is we found that we can actually use table salt, sodium chloride, to basically extract the lithium from the ore. This is, nobody's done this before.
But before we actually see this groundbreaking method from Tesla that this patent describes, let's recap for a moment how is lithium extracted today. Well, there are mainly two methods. The first and most important is by means of brine ponds, which basically consist of pumping salty underground water with lithium and then allowing its salts to be extracted through evaporation. This system has a massive environmental impact since, for example, the second largest lithium producer in the world, the Chilean SQM, in its Salar de Atacama, has an area greater than the entire island of Manhattan. Moreover, this process to obtain lithium not only requires the evaporation of these enormous masses of water, but also can last from 8 months to 3 years. 3 years! However, there are already companies that are developing new technologies such as Energy X to extract this lithium from brines in a more efficient way. I recommend you that you watch the interview that I did last December with James Elsmore, Energy X Head of Communication, in Spanish though. Puedes practicar un poco así. The second method is the extraction of lithium from spodumene. Spodumene is a mineral that contains lithium. So this rock is extracted from its environment and then this lithium is obtained through a series of facets that are harmful to the environment, and also not only do they extract lithium but also do the same with a high concentration of impurities including sodium, potassium, iron, aluminum, calcium and magnesium. The problem is that the subsequent removal of these impurities, especially aluminum, can lower the overall lithium extraction efficiency. Ultimately, these two methods have a tremendous impact on the environment. And this matters to Tesla, and it matters a lot. In its 2020 impact report, Elon Musk's company explained the effect that its products have on the environment, both in the production and use phases. Well, in this report, there is a table that shows how the CO2 emissions of the medium premium combustion vehicle in the United States produces, on average throughout its life, many more emissions than a Tesla Model 3. However, if you look in detail at the emissions of both vehicles, they're divided into a solid segment and a degraded one. The degraded refer to the use phase, and it's logical that here the Tesla Model 3 produces less emissions than those of a comparable combustion vehicle. And the solid segments are those of the manufacturing phase, and you will notice that Tesla's is greater than that of a traditional car. Why? Mainly because of the inefficient extraction that we just have seen. But this is not all. Also, this method of obtaining lithium produces another problem, and that it's concentrated in a few countries. As you can see, half of the extraction of all the raw material of the world premium in 2018 was in Australia, and 55% of the chemical supply of lithium was located in China, and this concentration is not only produced in a few countries, but also in a very limited number of companies. And if this was not sufficiently worrying, these companies that monopolize the production of lithium had made estimates of additional capacity for 2020 that, as you can see in blue, fell short of the reality represented in the adjacent black columns. In short, traditional methods are slow, expensive, inefficient, concentrated in a few countries and companies, and highly polluting. And therefore, how does Tesla propose to tackle this huge problem? In the exact same way that it has been doing for almost 2 decades of its existence, by innovating, and innovating. Tesla, in its patent WO 2021-1384-45A1, has found a secret ingredient that is salt. So, as it's written in the patent, Tesla does the following. The process includes providing a clay mineral comprising lithium, mixing a cation source with a clay mineral, wherein the cation source comprises a cation and an anion, performing a high-energy mill of the clay mineral, and performing a liquid leach to obtain a lithium-rich leach solution, wherein performing the liquid leach comprises adding a solvent to a mixture of the clay mineral and the cation source subsequent to performing the high-energy mill. If you have understood the process at first, congrats! But I'm not that smart, and it took me a couple of millennia to decipher it, and now that I have understood it, I'm going to explain it to you. First, a clay that contains lithium is mixed with sodium chloride, also known as common salt. Then we apply a high energy mill. What is this?
116.000 euros.
That's it. The clay and sodium chloride in a recipient containing balls, they don't have to be those of a lottery jackpot, move at a very high speed so that both components are mixed. The next step is leaching. And what is it? Well, to explain this part, we're going to call your chemistry high school teacher.
Then we can take a cut-off pop bottle and place some nylon stocking. I've got a 4 layers thick, and we hold that in place using an elastic. And then we transfer the soil into here. We can then clamp the neck of the bottle to our stand and place a beaker underneath it, and then pour water into this to then leach the soil. I'll now take a few drops of the leachate solution and place that on a glass slide and warm that up over the alcohol burner to evaporate the water. The water itself evaporates, leaving behind then the minerals, as we see from this demonstration.
Hey, what a genius, your teacher. So, in a similar way, Tesla, in its patent, explains this process in which there are several variants, such as grinding before, during, or after the union of the clay with the salt, or using other compounds instead of sodium chloride, such as magnesium chloride. If you have nothing to do today, I leave you the patent in the description because it's more exciting than a Game of Thrones chapter. But the most important thing from this Tesla patent that I want you to remember is explained with this reaction. And that is that the lithium was previously in the clay, and after grinding, the union with the salt and the leaching is in the solution. But why? Because of him. Dmitry Ivanovich Mendeleev, born on February 8, 1834 in Russia, was a chemist who, according to the legend, in 1871 had a dream. And in this dream appeared what is arguably the most important table in the whole scientific history. Dmitry, or in this case his subconscious, realizing that elements periodically behaved in a similar way relative to their atomic weight, organized these elements by this periodicity. And how does this affect us with extraction of lithium? Well, first you have to know that all elements of the universe come from hydrogen, which in the Big Bang melted 2 atoms of hydrogen into 1 of helium and then into other elements of greater mass. So lithium with a molecular mass of 3 is one of the most abundant elements in nature. Therefore, it's absolutely not true that there won't be enough lithium for electric cars. The only thing we need to do is find effective methods for its extraction. And for this extraction, sodium chloride has sodium as its cation. Let's look at the good Mendeleev table for a moment. What a coincidence! It is the element of the alkali metal closest to lithium. And this is the reason why it is so easily interchangeable. In this way, with this process, Tesla, extracting the lithium from Nevada next to its gigafactory in Reno, furthermore will avoid the trouble of this material around the world, saving time, money and pollution. Therefore, dear friend, what so many people laughed at that shareholders meeting on June 11, 2019 is about to materialize. But between you and me, you know what? That same day, in that same place, those same shareholders laughed again at Elon Musk when they heard the answer to the last question of the day.
Hi everyone, I'm Lux Filaday. I have a really exciting question. Will Tesla make aquatic cars, and if so, when?
Do you mean a car that can go in the water, basically?
On or under or both the water?
It's funny you should mention that. We do actually have a design for a submarine car, like the one from the Spy Who Loved Me.
But these laughs come from yesteryear. Hear what happened 7 years earlier in this interview.
I think you could make fusion work.
Lady, gentleman, young lady, young gentleman, Elon Musk is going to change the world as we know it. Hi, this is Alejandro, and welcome to the best moment in history. What do you think of Tesla's new lithium extraction method? You live in the best moment in history. Enjoy! If you have enjoyed this type of content, subscribe to this channel so you won't miss videos like this one. And I recommend you to watch this other video that I made just for you. Thank you very much from the heart.